Hello, everybody, and welcome into a Tuesday edition of the Computer America Show. It's a special Gamer Tuesday tonight. We got some exciting stuff happening here. We're going to have Dennis Fong. He is here with us. He is the CEO and founder of Raptr. If you're into gaming, you're going to know him as THRESH. It is an amazing accomplishment what he has done, and we're going to get into all of that tonight. And also, we're going to have, if you're watching the live computer video streaming page, we're going to actually have a video demo of what this new technology called the GVR technology, which
4 minutes until showtime.
Which you can, where you can record everything. It's a game video recorder, and we're going to be talking about Raptr's video capture solution and streaming and recording, and it's just a really amazing technology. We're going to be getting into all of that. And of course, coming up in hour 2, we'll have our computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Oh, and yes, if you're watching the live video streaming portion to see all the demos, don't forget that our live Computer America video streaming page is brought to you by Other World Computing. You can see the logo right up there in the upper right-hand corner of the Hangouts. So sit back, relax, and we'll be starting in about 3.5 minutes here for our Gamer Tuesday show here on Computer America.
Three minutes until showtime.
So Ben,
yes,
you're our gamer here. This should be exciting for you.
I am excited.
Exactly.
Are you a big PC gamer?
Yeah, actually, I've been playing Warcraft since '94, and it kind of spun out of control from there. So,
Holy cow! Yeah.
Anything Blizzard, definitely Quake, Leagues, first-person shooters, all have an Xbox, so lots of Halo, Call of Duty, all the good stuff.
Yeah, you're an OG if you're citing Warcraft and Quake.
Oh yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, we have our standard Gamer Tuesday with Ben, and we also have Grayson Hamilton, who was our gamer correspondent. Grayson got his degree, a master's degree in video game journalism, so he is with us here on the second Tuesday of the month. But we're having this tonight because it's a special show, and we're so glad that you're going to be here. Oh, there's Addison. Now, let's see. Now I have to make Addison. See. I have to opt him. If Vice is here, he won't go into being up. So I'm going to do it for tonight, and then we'll work on that after the show. I'm going to give him operator status. There he goes. Okay. Okay. Saying hi to him. And okay.
1 minute until showtime.
Okay, here we go. $20 seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live. It's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host,
Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
It's so straightforward, Ben. You have to get more fancy or do something.
Oh, no. Simple as its own elegance.
I see that. Well, anyway, welcome into a special Gamer Tuesday show. Normally, Gamer Tuesday is every second Tuesday of the month, but we have a special one tonight because we have a very special guest, and we're going to get to him momentarily. Let's just give you a brief overview. If you have a question or a comment tonight about anything that happens during the show, you can always call us at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you there. We'll try to squeeze you in if we can. It's going to be kind of a busy show tonight. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You have a better chance of getting your question via our email. You can also join us in our interactive chat room, our IRC chat room. Just click the chat room/video button right on our homepage at computeramerica.com. Put in a username. That's the name will be known by when you go in there. Click the log on button, and your browser doesn't need Java anymore, thank goodness. We'll move you into the Computer America chat room. You can see everybody participating in there. The other thing is that we're encouraging you more than ever to watch the Computer America show. That's right. You can now see everything going on our live Computer America video streaming page, and that, of course, is brought to you by Other World Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988, now celebrating their 25th anniversary. Please visit them at www.maxsales.com. Okay, so I think that's everything to start off. And I said we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. And so, Ben, I know you've been looking forward to this. Our guest tonight is Raptr, R-A-P-T-R. And Raptr is about making PC gaming consistently awesome. And tonight we'll be talking about something really exciting and new in the gamer world. This was just introduced yesterday. The Game Video Recorder, or GVR, helps gamers get the best performance whenever they play. Get this. It automatically saves replays of every game. You can record videos, broadcast your gameplay live, and it can share all of those incredible gaming moments with the world. All in a simple, easy-to-use application with virtually no impact on system performance. That's amazing. Now, to talk more about and even do a GVR demo tonight in this special Gamer Tuesday hour is Raptr's co-founder and CEO, Dennis Fong. He's better known as THRESH in the gaming circles. Dennis was crowned the world champion of Doom, Doom 2, Quake, and Quake 2, and was even called the Michael Jordan of video games by the Wall Street Journal, all before turning 23. Wow. Dennis, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
That's an impressive resume.
It hurts. It hurts that you had to use the qualifier all before 23, because that's the age I am. And I'm like, okay, I did my laundry today, so I have done things.
Yeah, I mean, it was very early days of gaming, but it was a fun time.
Well, hey, not to rub it in, Ben, but you know, he even got himself a Ferrari. You know, as one of the prizes. Actually, he got that from the creator of Doom. I mean, the gentleman who did. I mean, that's amazing. The ID co-founder John Carmack actually gave him a Ferrari. Do you still have it?
I kept it for about 10 years. Drove it in the course of 10 years. I probably drove it less than 30 times.
Wow.
I mean, it was red, really loud, convertible. You know, I think I was 19 at the time that I won it, and it was just wasn't quite my style. So I actually had it installed in the lobby of our offices at my company back then. So I actually couldn't drive it anymore. Had it for 10 years, got tired of servicing it and all that, and sold it a few years ago.
Well, yeah, Rubs it even more, Ben.
It beats a fountain, and I'm just saying, just thinking of most of the pro gamers I know, big, flashy, loud, and red really doesn't describe most of them anyways. So I completely understand that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I understand you founded your first successful startup, Gamers.com, and you later co-founded Xfire, which was acquired in 2006 by Viacom subsidiary MTV Networks for more than $100 million in cash. Wow. And
In a brown bag in a dark alley.
Yeah, it's in my mattress at home.
Okay, and it's comfortable to sleep on, obviously. In 2007, you founded Raptr, out of your love of PC gaming and your frustration with it not being as simple and easy to use as it could be, right? So this is where this is all coming up to Raptr, and we're going to get into this now. Now, the first time, like I said, we heard about you was back in the early days of competitive video gaming. Now, that was quite a few years ago. Have you started other companies in addition to Raptr, the one we're speaking about tonight?
Yeah, I started a company called Gamers.com back in actually the early days of the internet. This was in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
I then started another company with my brother called Lithium. So that's Lithium.com. It's the only one out of the four that I've started that has absolutely nothing to do with gaming.
Ah, okay.
And then after a few years, got the itch and really wanted to get back into gaming since I have a huge passion for it. So I started a company called Xfire, and now Raptr. But actually, all four companies I started were really to solve personal frustrations of mine.
Mm-hmm.
When we started our first company when I was 18. So it was we had zero dreams about making money or anything. It was just, hey, wouldn't this be cool if someone did this and made our lives a little bit easier? And it's just kind of gone on from there, basically.
Well, I think one of the first time, I'll be honest, I wasn't really following the competitive, circuit back in 98, 99, but I think the first time I've heard of any of your products had to be with Xfire, because I used to play WoW a lot with my friends and stuff like that, and back then you could play Arena and you could watch people stream live, and everyone used Xfire for that kind of thing. So we would all gather around Friday, Saturday night and just tune into streams on Xfire. And that was a lot of fun. So I mean, that was my first introduction, just almost a decade ago, to that company without even before I even knew about you. So you obviously have companies that are get that gamers like. It's not just you're creating stuff that you hope this solves a little problem. And you hope you get a little niche. I mean, gamers really do like these services.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think of them as companies. We just think of creating cool stuff that we ourselves would like to use. We've just been really lucky and fortunate that it turns out a whole lot of other people kind of like using the same stuff and see kind of the same pains. But it really just comes from a love of gaming and, just a love for trying to solve problems that really just annoy us every single day.
well, given your nearly lifelong involvement in computer gaming, what do you think about the state of PC gaming today, and and in particular the rise of professional gaming, now often called esports? I mean, I went into the room in our Florida home, and Ben was in there, and they were watching, and I thought they were watching TV, and it looked like a newscast of some sort, and I realized I was watching.
We were watching the LCS for League of Legends.
Yep.
And they had sports announcers there with their ties and jackets, and I thought I was watching. It was like watching a football game being narrated, and they had this huge audience, people cheering these game players up on. I mean, it was impressive to see this, and you got to watch the game. What is this? Amazing! It's an amazing conversion. I mean, it's really caught on, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, compared to when I was playing, obviously it's significantly larger, several orders of magnitude larger. Mm-hmm. In the most recent tournament for a game called Dota 2, the top place team, it's a team of 5, won over $5 million first place.
Oh.
That means over $1 million per person. And the total prize pool was over $10 million. To give you a sense of how quickly this has grown, I think just last year it was about $1 million for the whole prize pool. So, yeah, it's pretty incredible. They can sell out stadiums, literally like Staples Center in Los Angeles, where the Lakers play. For the finals last year, they sold it out, I think, in 5 minutes or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. And actually, if you were to listen to the live broadcasts, I mean, as you said, it's professional. They've got broadcasters. Obviously, there's their own gamer lingo that you kind of have to pick up on to understand what's going on. But if you didn't know any better, listening to someone play League of Legends and having a broadcast, it literally sounds like you were watching the World Cup, for soccer, because they're like talking about mid laners and they're doing X, Y, and Z. It actually, I mean, you really couldn't tell the difference unless you were watching the screen.
Well, it's the same thing. You have to understand. It's like if you watch a football game, same thing. It's the second down. Well, okay, if you don't know what that is, so each sport has its own set of lingo, and you have to obviously understand that. And gaming is no different.
Yeah, I mean, League of Legends, which is probably the most popular game in the world today, they see over 75 million unique people playing that game every single month, and almost 30 million every single day. Just to give you a sense of just how big this game is, I mean, 75 million unique people every single month, and it's still growing. So it's incredible.
Is that, and it's not just like, wow, every middle-class suburban white kid in America is playing this. It's North America, South America, Europe, Asia, it's global. It's not just in regions anymore.
Yeah, and I think due to kind of the popularity of the game, people have just as much fun watching other people play now, because you can appreciate someone's skill if if you've played the game, then you understand just how hard and amazing some of the stuff the guys are pulling off on screen, and that's given rise to a bunch of services and tournaments, and the rise of esports, kind of all to confluence a whole bunch of things happening at the same time.
Yeah, so it's been a huge change. So why don't you do this? Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of a quick overview of Raptr itself, when it was founded, and kind of how it's evolved over the years, and what the current focus of Raptr is today.
Yeah, so as I said, I like to create things that make my life easier, simpler, better, more pain-free and hassle-free. Raptr was created out of my love for PC gaming, which back when we started it in 2007 wasn't quite as popular. PC gaming kind of has gone through an ebb and flow. For a long time, the consoles, the Xbox, the PlayStation were very, very popular, and they still are. But one of the things that brought PC gaming back into the spotlight, and it's still the largest gaming platform in the world, is that some of the best games that are out there today, like the ones I mentioned, League of Legends, it's actually free. You can literally go to leagueoflegends.com right now, download the game for free, and play it for free in perpetuity without ever having to pay a cent. What you pay for, if you want to, are things that make your character look more unique, right? So you can buy skins and other stuff to make yourself look a little bit more unique in the game, but for all intents and purposes, you can play the game forever and never pay a cent.
Pride in gaming, in other words. It's like when you buy a car, you can get a vanilla car, but then you want to get the additional accoutrements to make it more personalized and makes it your car. Same concept.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Same concept, except they give the game away for free, which was a fundamental shift in the industry, because up until then you had to pay $60 to go buy a game, and sometimes you'll buy a game that you don't like and you just waste the $60. So that's been a really big trend in PC gaming, and consoles really haven't really adopted that much. There's only a couple examples that it's happening on the consoles. But you can imagine now, so these games that came out kind of changed the face of how people interacted with games, because you can now try a bunch of games for free and pick the one that you like. The other thing that changed PC gaming was that these games were not the most high-powered in terms of graphics. So League of Legends itself is over, I think, 5 years old. You could be playing on a really old computer and be having a great time. You don't need the latest and greatest $3,000 machine just to be able to run it properly. And so going back to Raptr and kind of where where the idea came from, PC gaming for a long time. Anyone that's experienced it knows that there's a whole bunch of stuff that you gotta do. You kind of have to be techie in order to get into PC gaming, because you have to update all your graphics drivers. You have to go download patches. Sometimes the game is not running optimally because fundamentally PC gaming and the challenge it faces is that practically every single PC is different. Versus an Xbox or a PlayStation, those boxes hardware-wise are identical to each other. And so as a game developer, you can design a game and optimize it for one specific hardware spec, and not you don't have to worry about anything else. So you can make it look beautiful, run beautifully, and never have to worry about it. On the PC, however, we've all got different machines, different components. There's a million different, it's completely wide open. And so the game developers, unfortunately, cannot optimize their games for any particular set of hardware on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
So they leave it into the hands of the user. Now, I'm sure a lot of people on this that is listening to the show would understand, like, most of us just don't have time to deal with, like, what does tweaking and optimizing your machine even mean? You just want to plug it in and make it work, right? You plug in a game and it just works. That's how it works on the Xbox. That's not exactly how it works on the PC. And so what we tried to solve at Raptr was, how can we turn your PC into a console-like experience where when you just throw in a game, it just works, right? You don't have to worry about futzing with the settings. You don't have to worry about downloading drivers. It just handles all of that for you. The games that you try to play are optimized completely for the machine that you have. It configures all of that stuff for you. As a PC gamer, you typically download, you're running like 2, 3, 4 different applications at the same time. One to IM with your friends and chat with your friends. There's another one for talking on the phone, like voice chat with your friends, like you're running Skype. You may have a separate program to go, capture the video that's happening on your screen. So it's, the net of it is that it's just not a simple experience. And what we've tried to do with Raptr is bring all of that into one application and make it just super simple and easy to use.
It sounds like it's almost like an operating system for games, is what you're doing.
In some ways, I guess the way to think about it, like before the iPod came around, there were all these kind of digital music MP3 players. And Apple kind of reimagined that world and tried to simplify it into an iPod. Right, stripped away all the stuff that was unnecessary and then just put it into one beautifully designed, simple product. Mm-hmm. We've kind of tried to rethink and reimagine the PC gaming experience and tried to strip away all the stuff that's extraneous and simplify it into one application. And that's basically what Raptr does.
Wow, it's elegantly simple, but so obviously very complicated to do something like that, because as you said, you don't know what hardware you're dealing with. Obviously with an Xbox, it's always going to be an Xbox, or a PlayStation. You have a prescribed set of hardware, and everybody's going to have that. With a PC, you can have different graphics cards. You can have all the different components, and they can drive you crazy.
Components, operating systems, games. Just every little thing makes just that big a difference. So, I mean, I didn't even know that Raptr actually came with that feature until I actually launched it for the first time, and it's like, oh, check this out. Turns out about 20 of your games aren't optimized for your computer. I was like, okay, Raptr, I'll take your word on this one. And one button, it optimized all the games. I didn't even imagine that could be possible. It never occurred to me that another program could go in, read your driver, read your all your hardware components, and then just simply take a very analytical approach and optimize your games for it. It seems simple now that now that you've done it, but I mean, what do you guys optimize for? Do you go for performance or just quality of games? Because you can optimize the visuals of it, but then when it runs at 15 frames per second, it's unplayable. So I mean, what do you optimize for?
Yeah, so you can think of what we try to do is kind of similar to like when you're trying to buy really anything. It's kind of a push and pull between price versus performance, right? When you're trying to buy a phone, it's like you're trying to find a happy balance, right? And on the consoles with the Xbox and PlayStation, they target 30 frames per second. Right, so I think generally speaking, it's accepted that 30 frames per second is a playable performance for gaming, and so both the Xbox and PlayStation basically peg everything at that, and then they basically make the graphics as beautiful as they can while maintaining 30 frames per second. So we've kind of taken a similar approach, but we use data to help determine, because we believe that this is a problem that with enough data. And taking, as you said, an analytical approach, you can figure out what the optimal settings are based on certain performance benchmarks. So what we do is we have 3 settings. One is pegged at 30 frames per second, just like the consoles. That's considered, we call it quality setting. Then you have balanced setting, which is at 45 frames per second. And then you have the performance setting, which is at 60 frames per second. And basically using those benchmarks, and it's user configurable, but by default it's the middle one, so balanced. We basically try to figure out what the highest image quality settings that you can have for your machine while maintaining 45 frames per second. And that's what we consider optimal. And we record, so Raptr itself has, I believe, over 30 million users now. We're adding over 2 million users every single month. And we track the performance of every game that you play. And we use that data that we track. We don't sell it or anything like that. We just use it to feed it into our machine learning system to help make the machine learning recommendations smarter. So it's literally hundreds of millions of game sessions every single month are feeding into the system. Because every single month there's new hardware that comes out, there's new drivers that come out, there's new patches that come out that improve performance. And because it uses machine learning, it's essentially learning on the fly. So as things evolve in the industry, our system kind of just learns by itself. But that's kind of how we go about figuring out what optimal settings are best for you.
How successful are you? Are your algorithms that are trying to figure this out? I mean, have you gotten some? Obviously, you're getting feedback, and do you have to, tweak these settings constantly, or are the algorithms actually performing up to your to your expectations?
So we have some data that we track. So obviously, we're providing tens of millions, if not 100 millions, of optimizations to our user base. So when people optimize their games, they keep the recommended settings that we give them, something like over 91% of the time.
Wow.
And there are the really enthusiast, hardcore kind of enthusiast PC users that like to kind of futz with those things themselves. We're assuming most of those people are the ones that are reverting back to the recommended setting that we gave them, reverting back to their own. But I mean, essentially more than 9 out of every 10 times they keep and like the settings that we recommend to them. So, at least in our world, that's working pretty well.
Ben, how did it work with you? I mean, how did it do with your games? Were you happy with them?
I've been pretty lucky. Out of about 20 games, I think it only made a tweak to, I think, 2 of them. And that's because that was Hearthstone and SimCity, and I didn't really mess with the settings, but everything else was pretty much dead on. So, I mean,
what does that say about Ben?
It says that he knows his stuff, and he's been a long-time gamer, right? I mean, that's actually the beauty of the system, is there are those people that really know their stuff. They're the experts out there that love tweaking this stuff, and our goal is to tap into that knowledge, right? Because we actually learn from people like Ben as well, because we look at what settings he had, we look at what performance he's getting, and if he happens to have figured out a really cool setting that actually gets more performance or more quality out of a game, our our system learns from him, and it feeds into our system as well. So that's pretty awesome. That actually, for someone that's a long-time gamer, if it's matching up to at least the level he set, that's great. Because actually, about 90% of the people that play PC games leave everything at default settings.
Really?
Which means that most of them are not getting an optimal experience. And so, those are ultimately the people that we're really trying to solve for. If we can solve for someone like Ben as well, that's great.
Yeah, it's surprising that people, I always thought that, I know computer gaming is big, but I always thought that, like you said earlier, if you're going to get into computer gaming, you had to be a little more tech savvy. And I guess, being the biggest and being kind of the most complicated, when those two mix, you're going to get a lot of people that kind of fall in the middle there and say, I just want to have fun, and I don't want to have to worry about most of this. So I guess that's where Raptr is trying to come in.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Very. Now, there was a big announcement yesterday on Monday about that this Raptr software that you launched has been this GVR technology. And can you get a little bit of what the announcement was about and what this is? And I know when we come back in the after the bottom of the hour break, we're going to actually do a video demo of the GVR. So if you're watching us on our live Computer America video stream, you'll be able to actually see this in action. So what was the big update to the Raptr software?
Yeah. So as we talked about earlier, watching other people play has proven to be a really big thing. People weren't really sure, a lot of people used to ask, why would you want to watch someone else play games? Why don't you just play it yourself? Mm-hmm. And there was a service called Twitch TV that launched just less than 3 years ago. It just got acquired by YouTube for over $1 billion. I think there was a study that found several billion hours of gameplay are watched online by people every single month. I mean, it's just astronomical numbers.
And I'm putting in my my share of that myself.
Yeah, people just love to watch other people play, and so we wanted to make that experience better at Raptr. So that's what we call our game video recorder, or GVR. It's actually pretty similar to a DVR, for your TV. So one of the big things that we do that it's very unique from a technology perspective is that we can actually record what's happening on your screen, so your gameplay as you're playing, without impacting your system performance. So up until now, people use programs like Fraps. That's a pretty popular one. And when you're recording video while you're playing, it would slow down your machine by 20-30%. And when you're talking about performance for a PC gamer, it's the number one thing on your list. So you don't want anything that slows down your machine, because your machine is equivalent to your golf club, your Big Bertha driver in golf. If you are recording yourself, so let's just say you have a GoPro camera strapped to your chest, you can no longer use your number one Big Bertha driver to hit, off the tee. You have to use your 5-wood. That's essentially what would happen normally before Raptr came out. And so we found a way to basically solve this. And so through our technology, we're able to make it so that you can record video without slowing down your machine. So we actually move a lot of the processing directly to the hardware, as opposed to being processed through your CPU cycles. I'm not going to get into all the specific kind of technical details, but essentially, what would normally slow down your machine by 20-30% now slows down your machine by maybe 1%. So it's pretty much negligible.
That is amazing, and understanding how all this works, that you can do something like that without bogging it down is incredible. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're at the bottom of the hour break, Dennis, so we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to actually have you demonstrate GVR in motion. So if you're not watching now, head over to computeramerica.com and get your live Computer America video streaming up and running, and you'll be able to see everything yourself. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and on the IRN Radio Network. Dennis Fong is here with us from Raptr. We're going to have this great video demonstration of the GVR right after these words. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Oh, hello. This is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin Review of the Tenda Wireless AC1200 Wi-Fi dongle. And by dongle, we mean it plugs into USB and just sits there. Now, if you build a lot of PCs, and we're building yet another Windows PC, and you don't feel like dragging a wire across the floor to hook it up to the internet, you can get a USB dongle for Wi-Fi, and we picked up a Tenda W900U wireless AC1200 dual band, that's important, USB adapter, meaning 802.11.AC is ours, just by plugging it in and installing its drivers. That second 5 gigahertz band allows almost triple the throughput, and every new install seems to suck the internet dry with downloads and updates. So we decided to lose a little weight. W-A-I-T, weight. It works.
Yeah.
The Tenda Wireless AC1200 Wi-Fi dongle lets you plug into higher speed Wi-Fi and get done sooner. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 33 minutes past the hour here, and we have Dennis from Raptr. We are talking about their new platform that just launched yesterday, or at least was updated yesterday. And, you know...
Dennis? Dennis Fong, this is THRESH. I mean, come on.
THRESH. And by the way, you know I've been playing way too much Leagues. When I thought THRESH, like, oh my god, the guy who created THRESH, that's amazing. No, by the way, how did you get your gamer tag? It's always fun to hear how gamers got their gamer tag.
Yeah, I mean, thresh means to strike repeatedly, and I clearly did that a lot. So, I remember, the Riot guys that make League of Legends reached out to me before naming that champion THRESH and asking if it was okay.
Really?
So I said, of course. And then I believe I'm the only person on their servers anywhere that actually has the username of a champion outside of a Riot employee. So I actually get to use THRESH, on all of the Riot servers as well.
Very neat.
Yeah.
So I guess if I see THRESH, I now know who it is. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That is it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you see the illustrious Pickle Chipmunk, that's
his.
me.
Interesting.
There he is, pickled chipmunk in the flesh.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Well, listen, I want to do this video demo now. Again, if you're watching our live computer video streaming, which is on Google Hangouts, and it is again brought to you by Other World Computing, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to Dennis, and you're going to actually show us the GVR, the video game recorder, in action, and you'll kind of narrate and tell us what we're seeing. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Let me go ahead and do it right now.
Okay.
So I think it should be loading.
Yeah. There's the screen.
Okay. So before, let me just. Before I get into this, I just want to talk a little bit about kind of what the purpose is, because what I just touched on earlier was just the technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think of the technology as being like the GoPro camera, if you're familiar with that. So, you know, our idea is to put a camera on everyone's computer when you're playing games. So we want to capture all the cool stuff that you're doing as you play. And because we can actually record video without slowing down your machine, most people would be totally fine with having it running. Now, unlike a traditional camera, you know, ours is recording all the time. So this is where the DVR comparison comes in. So because, you know, our premise is you don't know when something cool is going to happen or something amazing happens or your friend does something really funny. But those moments when you play are the reason why most of us play games. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to do is be recording you all the time. And whenever something really cool happens, all you have to do is click one button. In our case, it's a hotkey, so you just bind it to any key. So let's just say F11. Mm-hmm. And anytime something cool happens, you just hit that button, and it'll save a 15-second clip of what just happened. So it's kind of saving a clip of something after it's happened.
That's great.
Now it's actually user configurable, so by default it's 15 seconds, but you can save up to the last 20 minutes. But our idea is when you save a 15-second video, we call it an instant replay. Mm-hmm. And as you play, you basically anytime something cool happens, you just hit a button. And I'll walk you through what happens here. But then beyond just saving it, kind of like a camera, but beyond just having it on your phone, we want to make it easy for you to upload and share it with your friends as well. So, you know, we've made the process of uploading and sharing the video after you've recorded it really simple and easy and seamless. So that's really what we just launched yesterday, and we're pretty excited about it because nothing like this exists today.
And you're seeing it here first on Computer America. So let's see it.
So here we go. So this is the Raptr software. Let me just start playing the video. I may pause it at different moments. What you see here is actually what the Raptr software looks like. We call the DVR or GVR technology replays, the instant replays. You can also use the technology, the platform, to record kind of like you would normally. So you can hit start and record, you know, a 3-hour video and stop. Mm-hmm. And then we have broadcasting, which is the live streaming, kind of similar to what we're doing now, where you know, you can actually be live streaming your game on the internet. And once again, because we have the technology behind it, it doesn't slow down your machine. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to hit play here. Just note, I actually did record a demo, a video, rather than doing it in real time, just because it's easier to show off exactly what it is that we're doing in a short period of time. So as I said here, you can see the configuration. It's set at 20 seconds. I changed it to 15 seconds, which is what it is by default. At this point, it's pretty much ready to go. I launch, in this case, League of Legends. So this is actually the League of Legends game that we're talking about. What you're seeing on the screen here is I'm controlling this character. I was using someone else's account at the moment, and I'm running around. Now, this is the stuff that we're trying actually to avoid. So it's recording this video, but there's nothing interesting happening on the screen. And I don't want to record a long clip when nothing interesting is happening. So now I actually ended up killing one guy, and then I'm playing, and then I actually killed a second guy, a second enemy. And what you'll see here on this, what you're seeing on the screen here, if you can see it, is I actually killed a third enemy.
Wow, triple.
So I killed 3 in a row. Now, I'm just going to pause it really quick. So killing people 3 in a row in League of Legends, it's actually pretty rare. So what you didn't see here is I right after it happened, I clicked save. So when I was running around doing nothing at the beginning of the video, we don't want that because a friend or someone who's watching it would find that pretty boring. After I got the triple kill, I clicked save, and now I'm playing, and you'll actually see here the game ends. And what you see here is as soon as I exit the game, so I log out of the game, this gallery pops up. And when the gallery pops up, this is actually the highlight video that I saved. So you can see here, it's just replaying literally what just happened.
Yeah.
So this is actually the 15-second instant replay that I recorded. But the cool thing is, again, I would not have had the foresight to know that I was going to pull off that amazing move. I can do it after the fact. So I wasn't recording, if I was recording on a normal way, I would have had a 3-minute clip of which the last 15 seconds were interesting. Using instant replay technology, I just clicked the 15-second clip and saved it immediately after it happened. And what you see here is, if you're used to using Twitter or Instagram or whatever, you can hashtag the video.
Look at that.
So I hashtag it double kill and triple kill. And from there, I just click upload and share. And it takes what is normally a 55 or 60 megabyte file that would take 3 minutes or something to upload and compresses it. And basically turns it into something that can be uploaded in just a matter of seconds. So you can see here it's uploading.
Wow.
It's now actually uploading to both YouTube and Raptr simultaneously. So if you have a YouTube channel, it'll upload to your YouTube channel, and it's immediately shared on the to the entire Raptr community as well. So you can see here, which I'm going to pause it because this is actually the Raptr website. You can see now, as soon as it's posted, I can take this link, post it on Facebook or whatever, message my friend, and he can click link and basically be watching a video that I just captured of something cool that I pulled off, literally seconds, less than a minute after it's been created. And the idea really is, as I said, these are the moments that you play for. And usually, these are the things at the water cooler, or you see your buddy, you're like, oh, dude, you remember what happened yesterday? That was so amazing. That was so funny. That moment now is captured and archived and shared to the world, basically within a couple clicks. So we're really trying to turn these moments into something that's more of a social experience. And any gamer knows this is what we live for. So we're really, really excited about bringing this to the gaming world.
That's amazing. I mean, to see that, Ben.
Just the idea of the instant replay. Love that for the fact that like I said earlier, you don't have the foresight of knowing what's going to happen, and you're able to, kind of do it after the fact, because if you're running around trying to make the videos, you're going to suffer with your gameplay and stuff like that. But being able to go back and get it after the fact, out of sight, out of mind, and just makes the whole thing a lot easier.
Yeah, it's similar to DVR, right? You just never know when you want to go back and rewind. You want to watch something again. Again, we call it an instant replay, which doesn't exist in the gaming world today.
Right. DVRs with live TV, you can go back in time. You can time shift it, and even though you're not recording, you can go back because it's always technically recording. And basically that's what you're doing with the GVR. You're always recording, so you can go back and you're recording. Just like with DVR, you don't realize. It doesn't affect how you watch television. As far as you're concerned, you're watching live TV. With the GVR, as far as you're concerned, you're watching and playing a live game. Yet you have this underground technology that is always there at your disposal, so you can go back in time and capture it.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we turn you into is like you have your own ESPN SportsCenter highlight reel at the end of every game session that you can then socialize with your friends, right? So your friend's not going to necessarily want to watch you running around for 30 minutes in a game, but those really cool moments that are memorable, you capture those and you share it with them, and it can be a really fun experience. The last thing I just want to say is, the entire Raptr software is free, so it doesn't cost any money. Anyone can just go.
How do you do that? It's free.
We'll figure out how to make money later, but we really wanted to build just a really cool product, which is what we've done. So you can just go to Raptr.com and download it for free. It's free to use forever, basically. We don't ever intend to charge for it.
Wow, that is truly amazing. I didn't see that one coming. I know Ben got a copy, to play with.
That's just another great idea, because you were talking about earlier how the great appeal to computer gaming is that everything's free. You can go out and get Dota 2, Smite, League of Legends, Counter-Strike. You can get all these for free. Well, I think Counter-Strike you have to pay for. But anyways, you can get all these for free. So trying to tie in some software that yes, it will make the gaming experience a lot more fun, but turning around and saying but you have to pay for it really wouldn't fly. So the fact that you can make this free, and another great thing about computer gaming that it looks like you're taking some serious consideration, is that there's a big social aspect to Raptr too, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that plays games know actually the common stigma of gamers being loners is actually the complete opposite, right? We're often playing with dozens of friends at any given time, and so. Again, what we want to do is bottle up that experience and make it, really entertaining to watch. And it's not about necessarily just the best guys capturing cool videos and sharing them, although that certainly does apply. The way I love to use our instant replay technology is when my friend does something really stupid, and I can make fun of him for it. Like he kills me in Counter-Strike, in a friendly fire accident. I'll save a clip of it and I'll upload it and share it and share it to our friends, and we can all rib him for making our team lose. So there's just a lot of really interesting moments that we want to capture there, and our goal is just to make it really easy and have a good time around it.
Well, it certainly looks like you've done exactly that. Now, I have a question for you, and that is, we kind of know that Raptr also makes the gaming Evolve software that comes bundled with most new AMD graphics cards. So should our listeners opt for the one version of Raptr or the other? In other words, Raptr proper versus the AMD Gaming Evolve. And also, do gamers have to own an AMD card in order to use either version of Raptr?
So AMD is they make some of the best video cards in the world, some of the fastest in the world. They're a very big partner of ours at Raptr, and so the chances are, if you have an AMD graphic card, you probably already have Raptr on your machine, because it actually comes as part of the drivers when you download them. Now that said, that version of AMD, it's called AMD Gaming Evolved, powered by Raptr, is basically just Raptr. So there really isn't anything that's different in that versus Raptr. They just have kind of unique branding that they wanted to use for their version of it. Raptr itself works for both NVIDIA cards and AMD cards. So the technology that I just talked about works for practically any gaming, certainly any discrete graphics card, the standalone graphics cards. So regardless of which one you have, it should work. That said, the GVR technology doesn't necessarily work for every video card that's out there.
So let's do this. Again, the card again, because of your partnership with AMD, you're saying it works with either version, right? You can go either way. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So so let's do this, Ben.
Yes,
okay. Sir. We just had a little bit of a technical thing here, and I'm just hoping that we're getting back to it. Why don't you continue on with them while I can figure out what's going on here?
Sure. Yeah, and one thing that really surprised me about Raptr was that all right.
Well, we're going to go to the phones. Now, Dennis, can you hear me? You can hear me, Dennis?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's go to the we have a phone caller who has a question for you, and let's see if we can figure out what's happening here, and we'll get him to do this, since you can hear us. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hi, caller. How can we help you?
Hi, Craig. My name is Howard from the Central Coast of California, and I was really interested in watching Dennis play the game there on the video. I'm waving at the monitor right now. I was wondering, can this software be used with other programs? Like if I wanted to record something I was doing with something in Windows, can it do that, or is it just for recording games?
So at the moment, we don't support desktop capture, so it would just be for games.
Great, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Except I don't. If Dennis is given a reply, I can't hear him.
Oh, okay. Can you? So what I was saying is that it is made just for games at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people who do this kind of thing use some other kind of
Yeah,
software. Yes, Craig?
I think
I think we might have lost the caller.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, I think we're back now. Okay, go ahead. Yes, we're here. Caller, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Craig, we actually can't hear the caller now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't listen. Take off the. Yeah, turn off your video. Turn off your video and just go ahead and talk to us. Okay.
We can't hear him.
Yeah, Craig, we can't hear him.
Can you? You can't hear the caller now? Okay, caller. Listen, we had a little technical. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry. All right. All right. Next time, you keep. Good night.
He's really faint. He's really faint, actually. I can hear like a little bit. Maybe you just need to turn up the volume.
No, I think at this point he's gone, and you know. But he asked. Did you get the gist of the question that he wanted to ask?
Yeah. What he asked was, you know, whether we can record stuff that's happening on your desktop that's not a game. And the answer right now is no. We've focused the entire experience around games only.
Okay, got it. All right, but it was a good question. So again, we only have a couple of minutes left here, so it's up and running now, and they can get it, and it's completely free. Where do you go?
It actually, real quick before that, I just want to say that you know, when I first heard about Raptr, I'm sorry I kind of pigeonholed you guys into thinking, oh, this is just going to be a direct competitor to Steam or something like that. And you know, Steam has a huge footprint and everything like that, so it was going to be hard for you guys. But I got to say, you guys actually play very nicely with Steam, and you know, and not, you haven't even talked about the reward system yet that comes with Raptr. But you know, even if you have Steam, even if you don't really play games in any kind of social environment or any other platform, just getting Raptr, because I understand that you guys work with, you know, everything from Facebook games, browser games, almost every single computer game I know of. You know, even if you just want some of these rewards that you give out, it's worth downloading Raptr and having it in the background, because, like you said again way back at the beginning, the footprint on the actual computer, like the resources that Raptr actually takes, is minimal at best. You know, it's very light.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing. We also, for being a Raptr user, we do give away a whole bunch of stuff, from $300, $400, $500 video cards to, I mean, we literally give away hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff every single month. And when I say stuff, it's like high quality, the latest games, the latest hardware. And it's just, you know, it's kind of like an airline loyalty program, except you don't have to buy anything. You just have to use Raptr. It's our way of thanking users for being Raptr members.
Wow, wow. So again, this is out now, available. They can get it. They can download it at the Raptr website. They can get it anywhere. They can get it. And will they find this any place else other than the Raptr website, or is it strictly there?
It comes as part of pretty much every AMD product now. So, you know, but in the AMD version, as you noted, it's called AMD Gaming Evolved, powered by Raptr. but it's effectively the same thing. And again, we work with NVIDIA cards as well, so either one.
Exactly. Ben, you have any questions? This is just I'm still kind of reeling with the fact that this is all free and how they get.
See, that is the least surprising thing to me. It's making it free just makes the most sense out of all of it. So it's a nice thing. It's not surprising, but it's very nice. It's just the thing that caught me was how it's not trying to supplant. It's not trying to replace. It's not trying to replace anyone's Steam account, anyone's Twitch account. It's not trying to replace anyone's website. It's just trying to take all these and make them work together nicely. And I think that's one thing that I'm sure since you Thresh, you have Thresh, since you've been in this for as long as you have, that startups are everywhere, and startups and a lot of them fail, some of them don't, but the market is very, very segmented. So to have one service try to come in, bring it all together, and make it simple is will be more than invited.
Yeah, again, I think because as I talked about in the beginning, I don't create products to make money. That's not the end goal. It's to solve my own personal frustrations. I think Steam is an amazing product. It's I buy most of my games on Steam, if not all of them. We're not trying to replace anybody. We're trying to find areas of my life, in particular around gaming, that I can just make better. And so everything that we've built runs alongside all of the typical things that you would normally use. And of course, we've created some new technologies and platforms that just makes your gaming life more fun, more social, and more interesting. So yeah, you really nailed it. Raptr is we kind of view it as a companion to your gaming life.
Well, you've done an outstanding job, and Ben, you made Ben's gaming life a lot more simple. Although even everything was on tag, he can now, at any time something good happens, he can instantly record it. Even go back in time and get it.
It's not just that instantly record it. A lot of people stream games, and I've been starting to do that. So Raptr has actually helped with that and dealing with Twitch. So it's been helpful in that regards too.
Yeah. The streaming, of course, you can now stream with Raptr without impacting your performance. So for any Twitch broadcasters, again, we're not trying to replace Twitch. We're just trying to make that experience streaming to Twitch significantly better, which is kind of what we've done, I think. Again, we're just trying to be a companion.
Hey, Dennis, listen, we're pretty much out of time. I do want to thank you so much for taking the time out from your schedule to be with us here and talking about Raptr and making our Gamer Tuesday hour a much more special one. Again, I would encourage all of you, if you haven't seen it or you're just coming on now, go to the video archives page at computeramerica.com and you can see the entire show and you can watch this. Maybe skip over the phone call where we had a little technical glitch. But other than that, you can certainly see it. You can see a demo of it. And, of course, by all means, what have you got to lose? It's free. Download it. Get it. And any of the games that you have now, it's just going to make your gaming experience a better one. And that's what Dennis is trying to do. And, listen, I know from gamers all over the world, Dennis, a big thank you for what it is that you're doing. Really.
Thank you for having me too.
All right.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure, Dennis. Really. Thanks so much for being with us here on Computer America tonight. You take care and
keep fighting the good fight.
Keep fighting the good fight. Exactly. All right, Dennis. Good night.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right. So there it is. Again, Raptr. R-A-P-T-R. Raptr.com. You can check it out for yourself.
Did I mention? By the way, just want to make this very clear.
Yeah.
Very low footprint.
Yeah.
Gives you reward points for playing games while it's running, and it works with Facebook games. So even if you don't consider yourself a gamer, you just say, I just play those little Facebook games, you could have Raptr, play your Facebook game, leave it running, and get reward points, which then you could turn into sweepstakes or discounts on games or other deals. It's worth getting and having in the background and forgetting about it, and then it's just like another little added perk to whatever you do.
All right, well, coming up in hour 2, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. That's all coming up in hour 2 of the show, so stay with us. Hello and welcome to hour 2 of the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And we continue on with hour 2. We just had THRESH here, gamer.
Dennis Fong.
Dennis Fong, talking about the GVR, the video recorder. And to me, it's just absolutely amazing that they can actually get this technology up and running and do it, and then he's doing it all for free too. Just amazing.
Again, the free should be the least surprising part about the whole service.
How so? Why?
Because again, most of the games for computers that people are playing, where you get the hundreds of millions of people, all those are playing games that are essentially free. If you wanted to go out right now, you could get the 3 most popular online games, Dota 2, Smite, and League of Legends, with a combined 200 million players. You could get all 3 of those for less than a penny.
Wow.
So to use a service that, for a free game that you would have to pay for in turn, that wouldn't thrive. So the fact that it's free isn't the surprising part. It's that it does so much so simply is the part that they have to nail, and I think they did.
Well, I think that again, that's without and making it for free again to me is just no money involved whatsoever. Well, I'll tell you what, we have we're going to do our computer and technology news, and in the second hour. Now, did you send me news stories, by the way?
I believe I did.
Okay. Well, you're going to do the first one because I was in the middle of getting anything back up and running, which it now is, and I haven't had a chance to download them. So you're gonna start doing the computer news, okay?
All
right. Let's do the news right now.
Craig?
Yes.
I'm not sure what's going on over the air, but at least to ourselves and the ones in the chat room, we cannot hear the system sound that you're playing. So the intro, the outro, the
we missed. Yeah, the intro and outro was not working, but the news segment. I mean, the sounds.
The sound that you just played does not work.
You don't hear that, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can figure this out.
Sounds like it might be turned all the way down or something, but that's not working.
Yeah.
So while you figure that out, I'll do a news story.
Well, let me do that. Let me just say that tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right, everything there for free. And let me just do a real quick thing. Can you hear the chat messages now?
Nope, don't hear it. So tonight's show's sound effects are brought to you by the glitch in the system.
Yeah, exactly.
They are nowhere to be found. So, computer technology news. One of our favorites, Max and PC, Paul Lilly, seems to write everything. And he actually wrote this article saying that the Intel lifts the lid off upcoming Core i7 5960X Haswell E processor. So, let's just get into it. Intel soldered the CPU die to the integrated heat spreader. A picture making the rounds on the web shows that Intel upcoming Core i7 will look like if you have the nerve to pry off the integrated heat spreader. So if you look close, you can see that beneath the adhesive layer that secures the IHS to the package is is attached with a strong epoxy.
Mhm.
And if you're an overclocker or otherwise concerned with temps, this is a good sight to see.
Mhm.
Soldering the CPU die to the IHS offers better heat conductivity than filling the gap with thermal interface material, the latter of which is the route Intel took with its Core i7, its earlier i7 products. So while not game-changing by any means, this is simply another reason to look forward to Haswell E. Expected to launch in September. They have the chipset that has support for DDR4 memory, and as for the stripped down i7, the earlier rumor suggests as it has 8 cores, 16 threads, and 3 to 3.3 gigahertz clock speed with a little bit of cache. So, lots of jargon there, but what it means was it has an integrated heat spreader glued onto it. So if anyone's ever replaced a processor, you know that you have to take some kind of thermal gel, thermal paste, what have you, squirt it on just to make sure that it doesn't overheat, and you actually get that good, you get that good heat transfer from your processor to whatever kind of cooling you have.
Mhm.
So this is kind of taking that one little step out of the equation, which is good.
Okay. All right.
So that's that story.
All right. We're gonna do another one here. Let me just see something. Now you still don't hear that, right? Or you
Nope.
do? Okay. And let me just do one little test. Let me see if you hear this. Do you hear this?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess it's broken. We won't probably do it until we have to reboot the system. So let's go to the next story. And this one, again from Paul Early. Acer owns the U.S. retail monitor market. Okay. Nearly half of all touchscreen monitors shipped last year had the Acer label. And time and again, we see examples of where lower-priced gadgets rule the day. We saw it when Amazon stormed the Android tablet market with its smaller-size, lower-cost Kindle Fire. Okay, and we're seeing it again in the monitor market. According to the latest data from the NPD Group, Acer is selling more monitors in the U.S. than any other player. Acer's share of the overall monitor market during the first half of this year has bounced between 18% to 20%, which qualifies Acer for pole position. In the touchscreen monitor segment, Acer slammed the competition by remaining the top maker for the entire year, reaching a high in a market share of almost half, 46.4% in May. It will be interesting to see if Acer can hold onto its lead once 4K monitors grow up a little bit and become more affordable. The company is off to a good start, having announced back in May the first 4K monitor to support NVIDIA's G-Sync technology, the XB280 HK. Okay, so there it is. Acer now owns the retail market in monitors. Who'd have thunk it? I thought Vizio was going to do it, but no, Acer did it. Mm-hmm.
Does Vizio still own most of the TV market?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Probably.
a good portion of it. Yeah, exactly.
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Okay.
I mean, not every company can stay king for long.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess, not surprising.
Yeah. No, not at all.
All right. How about one? Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
the new Superman versus Batman movie.
Yeah. What about it?
Coming out soon. Apparently, have you seen the screenshot of Wonder Woman?
No, I have not.
They have a new screenshot of what Wonder Woman will look like, and I think they said they're going to have a cameo of her in the Batman vs Superman movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because apparently in the comic book world, they're the trifecta. It's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's their power three. So that's a little off topic, but we have a story here from Wired, and it's all the people tweeting about Batman vs Superman. Go see it. And apparently they're trying to correlate the amount of interest on Twitter with how many people are going to go see any said given movie.
Yeah.
Which you think you could draw a pretty steady line between the two. I mean, if people are talking about it, it's either going to be, wow, I'm not going to go see that movie. Looks not good.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's the flip side of this saying, oh, wow, check out this movie, da-da-da. I'm really excited to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this one from Wired. the tweets have spoken, and according to the social media gods, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice was the most talked about thing at this year's Comic-Con International in San Diego. That the Zack Snyder directed flick, however, is not stacking up to be the thing people actually intend to watch. That honor, according to new analysts on Twitter, goes to MTV's Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf. I hadn't even heard of it. But, you know, if...
that was the Michael J. Fox movie or something?
Teen Wolf?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
No. But, no, apparently it's a new movie. It's a new TV series on MTV. So Variety reports that analysis of Twitter data by research firms Mashwork and Way to Blue cited Warner Brothers' 2016 follow-up to Man of Steel as the top conversation driver on the social media service across the 5-day convention. And by the way, so much information came out at Comic-Con. We probably could have had just one show dedicated, just 2 hours to straight up Comic-Con. But yeah, apparently 250,000 tweets went to Batman versus Superman, and immediately following Batman versus Superman were the Game of Thrones tweets, coming at 200,000, and Teen Wolf at again a little bit under 200,000, with The Walking Dead a little bit under even Teen Wolf. So and of course Marvel's Age of Ultron came in last. So of the Dawn of Justice tweets, 73% were considered positive, according to Mashwork, but Way to Blue suggested that only 10% displayed any intent to view the movie itself below both The Walking Dead and Teen Wolf. So if there's a lesson to learn from the results, it might be that not all publicity is really good publicity if it means that people are still more excited about television werewolves and zombies than your iconic cinematic clash. Or perhaps simply that no one is really seriously considering going to see Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill frown at each other in the rain 2 years ahead of time. Better luck next time, Warner Brothers. But here's my question to you, Craig.
Okay.
Do you think you can really draw a line between how people are tweeting about a movie and the attendance rates?
I have to speak for me. I never listen to what other people say about a movie. I always have to draw my own conclusion. And so if somebody said on Twitter, "Don't see this movie, it's a piece of junk, you're going to hate it, blah, blah, blah," I would and I wanted to see it, I would still go see it. I wouldn't let them influence me.
It's just the thing is, it's not saying it's good or bad or anything like that. It's just trying to show the intent of people who will go and watch it. And I think they're looking at the wrong medium to track, to see, to kind of predict interest in watching the movie. Because, I mean, when it's first debuted, I feel like more and more people are tweeting at, this was just released, check out this, check out the clip, check out this, just look at it. And I think less and less that's going to be people who are actually going to say, oh, I can't wait to go see ... It's more along the lines of, oh, did you just see the preview for ... You know what I mean? It's not saying you're willing to go see it one way or another. It's more of, this is the current hype. Take a look at it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were trying to mix their mediums, and it didn't warrant at all.
Well,
the whole point of that article
yeah.
was that MTV is coming out with a new series, Teen Wolf. Go check it out. Very entertaining. You and your 13-year-old daughter will love it.
Okay. All right.
That was all sarcasm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tell me if you hear this now.
I do not.
You do not? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to fix this during the show.
Someone in the chat room mentioned that you had the same problem when you first plugged in your webcam.
Yeah, no, it's different. I know what happened, but I don't know how to fix it. I guess I think I have to reboot the whole system, and then I'm not going to be. That's not an option for while we're on the air. So that's it. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news. That means you won't hear the close of the show either, but that's okay.
And you probably won't hear the bottom of the hour commercials.
No, you won't hear those either. So we'll and of course the new news tips bulletin from Marty Winston. You won't hear those. So we'll just have to
We'll soldier through.
We'll soldier through. In the meantime, this article's physicist concocts an ice cream that changes color when you lick it.
See, I thought that was a news story that I was going to have to do.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool, you know. So maybe I mean, but tell me if you can hear this. This is just tell me if you can hear this.
Oh yeah.
You hear that?
No.
Okay. You do or do not?
I don't.
You don't. Oh, great. Thanks. I was hoping I could get around it, but that won't work
Nope.
either. All right. Anyway, what happens when a physicist decides to become a chef? If they're anything like Manuel Linares, then you can expect a fusion of food and science to come out of their kitchen. For instance, one of the Spaniard's masterpieces is an ice cream that changes color when you lick it. He calls it, looks like a chameleon, a play on the Spanish word for chameleon, and it originally starts as a periwinkle blue frozen treat until it's spritized with the super secret mixture he concocted himself, and it reacts to changes in temperature and saliva, causing the tutti frutti flavored ice cream to turn into purple and then into pink as you lick it. Okay. As unusual as this sounds, it's also just the beginning of his foray into the color-changing ice cream business. He also plans to whip up ice cream that turns from white to pink, and another one that glows under ultraviolet light. Oh, that'll be a winner. You can also get a scoop of this chameleon ice cream from one of the creator's shops in Spain right now, but he's looking to export it into other countries. Until that happens, you can check out a video that shows how the yummy dessert transitions from purple to pink. I don't know. This doesn't really appeal to me.
Okay, this is a little off topic for a technology show.
Yeah.
But in the terms of culinary, creativeness, ingenuity, that kind of thing, Spain is, king right now. Spain has all the crazy food, culinary stuff going on with all the experimentation, trying new things. So, not surprised Spain has the color-changing ice cream. But, I mean, Craig?
Yes.
Let's face it, if Cold Stone had this...
A Cold Stone?
If Cold Stones had it, if Baskin Robbins had it, if insert your local ice cream store here, if they had this, my word, the ads would be all over your TV. It would be all over every street. It would be all over their store. The ads for color changing ice cream would be everywhere.
I don't know. I don't think it appeals to me.
What?
What?
You love ice cream.
I know, but not one that changes color when you're licking it. It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
See, for me, it would be like, okay, the ice cream started out all purple. Now I need to make it all pink, and then I need to make it all green. It would be like a little bit of a game, but fine, okay, whatever. You don't want to. Okay.
No, I don't. I think. All right. Now here's a story. Evernote. You don't use Evernote, do you?
No, I actually don't take notes.
Well, Evernote turns
I find it beneath me.
It turns your prose into published books. So if you're looking to get that novel you've been plugging away in your spare time published with ease, maybe Mike Miller would need to hear about this. Our author correspondent. Well, evidently, Evernote now offers an option for doing just that, thanks to a partnership with Fast Pencil. The note-taking and productivity repository allows you to send individual entries or complete notebooks to the DIY publisher service. And once you've beamed your carefully crafted words to the editor, you can send drafts to your boss or best mates for proofreading before gung-ho sorts production and fulfills chores, just like it does for major publishing houses. You can also be privy to distribute the finished product via Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iPad, and Kindle to get all of that hard work out to the masses. Of course, this means you'll likely have to come up with some better excuses for dragging your feet on that book of poetry. So there, you can use Evernote to publish your works. Who needs a publisher, right?
Not quite.
Yeah.
But, I mean, It's never been easier to self-publish. And thinking back to the news article that we did a couple of weeks ago, I think,
Mm-hmm.
about the one with Amazon and their $10 a month unlimited books service that they had going on.
Yeah.
They had 500,000 books.
Yeah.
Most of those 500,000 were self-published.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not saying that self-published stories aren't of quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that there's a quantity issue.
Mm-hmm.
So don't expect to be the next big author by self-publishing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a reason.
Jonathan in the chat room says that he has a tech question that and he says he guesses this is the wrong place for that since we're talking about ice cream that changes color when you lick it. No, go ahead,
Hey,
Jonathan.
look, if you have a tech question about ice cream, we are all over it, okay? But if you have something wrong with your, cooling system, get out of here. Techguy.org, they'll take care of you. We're doing ice cream and other things around here, okay? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What? It's fun to go off subject. It's fun, but I'm gonna say this right now. You probably can't call us because we probably couldn't hear you if you did call in with a tech question. If you came into our chat room at Computer America, we would probably answer it there. And on most other nights, we would probably take your call and answer your tech question. But we like to talk about anything.
Well, Jonathan in chat room says here, on a rare occasion, my ThinkPad will take an extra long time to shut down. And then just about the time it seems to have fully shut off, it shows the blue screen of death, and then it reboots. He said he ran MemTest 86, which, by the way, is an excellent free memory test program, and it didn't show any errors in his memory. It sounds to me that it sounds to me like it's not. I wouldn't think that's a hardware problem. I think you definitely have the problem is it's a software problem that occurs from time to time. Usually when memory is usually not intermittent. Usually if memory goes bad, it goes bad and stays bad. It doesn't resurrect itself. My suggestion, Jonathan, is to do I assume you're running Windows. You can do it.
Yeah, I think that is Windows.
Yes, exactly. Right, exactly. So, well, it could be running Linux on it for all I know, but
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, Blue Screen of Death, I think that's a Windows exclusive.
Well, that is a Windows. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I would say to run a utility program and something like the Slimware Utilities. You might have a little just run it and see if that will correct the problem. A lot of times these programs that are out there that will that basically go and kind of do a cleanup of your registry and all the files that are associated with Windows. Sometimes that will help. Give that a shot. Try to do that. And then in the worst case scenario is just do a reinstall of Windows. But obviously preserving your files. Just do not a clean install. Just do a reinstall.
I mean, like he did he did the right thing, or at least the thing I would do is that if it's shut down almost all the way, that means that all the applications have shut down, and
Except
just when you
for one.
think it's about to, it shows the blue screen of death. So I mean, it's all the applications shut off, then it logs into your account, then it flushes your memory, your cache and stuff like that. So I mean, and it sounds like it gets to that point where your memory should be flushing itself, and then it kind of freezes, locks up, and blue screen of death.
Okay. Well, he said he's tried Iolo, who's always running checks in the background. He said she runs CCleaner on it, and if you've done those programs and it doesn't fix the problem, then I would say just you're going to have to do a reinstall of Windows.
It definitely sounds software. So
yeah, I'm telling you. And again, an intermittent problem is probably one of the most difficult to catch. It is really hard to define.
It's like when you take your car and it's making this thunking noise. It's like, oh yeah, can you show me? It's like, oh no, it only happens on Thursdays with a full moon.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not his hard drive, because sometimes a hard drive can cause a particular sector or something will go bad, but it doesn't happen all the time. You don't hit always the same area on the hard drive. but my suggestion would be to do a reinstall of Windows and see if that cleans it up, and if not, then you might be in for some pain. If you can live with it for now, I would say just go ahead and, if it's happening so infrequently, to leave it alone at this point. But if it gets worse and worse and worse, then try a reinstall. Yeah. He's saying the laptop's over 6-year-old, so it could be an old driver. They do have driver updates that you can do as well. Of course, that can lead to its own series of problems.
Yeah, I hate driver updates, especially like the really crucial one, like the really low level driver updates.
Yeah,
cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah. If you don't have, I would say copy everything off so it's completely valuable. If you do the Windows reinstall and that doesn't work, then I'd say copy everything off of it that's valuable to an external hard drive or something, and then just reformat it and just put a brand new installation of Windows and then put things back and try that and see if that install will do it.
Well, I got some good news for him.
What's that?
He says laptop is 6 years old. Stock market crashed in late 2007, early 2008.
Mm-hmm.
His laptop lasted about 6 years longer than the stock market did.
Did you know your iPhone can now finally make free encrypted calls? This is according to Wired magazine. Yep. If you're making a phone call with your iPhone, you used to have two options. Accept the notion that any wiretapper, hacker, or spook can listen in on your conversations or pay for pricey voice encryption software. Well, as of today, there's a third option. The open source software known as Open Whisper Systems has announced the release of Signal, the first iOS app designed to enable easy, strongly encrypted voice calls for free. We're trying to make private communications as available and accessible as any normal phone call. So later in the summer, he adds encrypted text messages will be integrated into Signal to create what he describes as a single unified app for free, easy, open source, private voice and text messaging. Signal encrypts the calls with a well-tested protocol known as ZRTP and AES-128 encryption. In theory, strong enough to withstand all known practical attacks by anyone from script kiddie hackers to the NSA. But Wired's test calls with an early version of the app after a few false starts due to bugs that Marlon Spike says have now been ironed out were indistinguishable from any other phone call. The only sign users have that their voice has been encrypted is a pair of words that appear on the screen. Those two terms are meant to be read aloud to the person on the other end of the call as a form of authentication. If they match, a user can be sure he or she is speaking with the intended contact with no man in the middle eavesdropping on the conversation and sneakily decrypting and then re-encrypting the voice data. Like any new, relatively untested crypto app, users shouldn't entirely trust Signal's security until other researchers have had a chance to examine it. Okay. After all, the technology behind Signal isn't exactly new. Okay. Now, but unlike other open whisper systems, Silent Circle's charges it mostly incorporates corporate users $20 a month to use its closed source privacy app. Signal offers the same service gratis, making it the first free encryption app of its kind for iOS. Okay, so the story goes on and on and on, but basically, if you're looking for some sort of encryption software, that's free, it's easy to use, and you might want to check this out. Again, it's called Signal, and evidently you can get it now on iTunes, and give it a try. I mean, if you're that worried about people who are over listening to your conversations, I mean,
it's going to happen one way or another. Either it's the NSA or someone else being nefarious about it. But it's it's just another route you can take.
Okay, I just saw this picture of Wonder Woman you were talking about.
Yeah, it's not the classic.
No, not at all.
I think when people picture Wonder Woman, they think of the Star Spangled Banner with the red and the gold and the lasso and the high boots, but no, it's when I first thought I was like, what is a Athena doing, or no, what's it called, Warrior Princess?
Mm-hmm.
Craig, come on, help me out here.
You mean Diana?
No, Athena, Warrior Princess. She had a show. It's not Athena. It's
that's the name of Wonder Woman. Her name is Diana.
come on, she had a show, and she was Warrior Princess.
It's not ringing a bell. Sorry.
Xena.
Athena. Okay.
Xena, Warrior Princess.
Okay.
You never heard of Xena, Warrior Princess?
No. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. By the way, the music is playing. I know you can't hear it, but we're going to go by that. This is the Computer America Show. I'll tell you what. Since you can't hear the music, and I assume no one else can, I think I'm just going to stop the ads, and we'll just continue the show because we don't want dead air all this time. So we'll just do that.
All right.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're listening to the Computer America Show on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, on the Blog Talk Radio Network. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. We have a little bit of a technical glitch for some reason. The audio is not making it to the how should I say it? It's not making it to the system. So we're going to have to figure out what's going on, and we'll worry about that when we come back. Now, see, I'm even looking here. Even everything is to the Shure Digital. It's all working. I see it here. So. I'm not sure why it's coming out. Anyway,
Craig,
yes.
you're gonna mess with it, and it's going to be, just after the show, you'll be like, oh, I have that one slider just all the way to the left instead of all the way to the right. It's gonna be something very simple. That and by the way, if we're troubleshooting, we're going all the way back to when this first started, and that's when you accepted the caller back.
Yeah,
back.
you know what happened? Yeah, when I accepted the caller, it was my fault. I kicked the wire out of the USB. I've never done that before. I actually kicked it out, and when I plugged it back in, it was all messed up. So it was a physical thing, and so I'm probably gonna have to reboot the system after the show and just make sure it works. That's all.
Okay.
But that's what happened there. Anyway, we're doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, and we're going to.
There would be ads playing right now. Let's give you a little run through. I believe the first one would be about Brother Wolf's Animal Rescue, cats and dogs. I don't know if anyone's watching my camera here, but if I panel over to the side, that would be one of the quality animals you get from Brother Wolf Animal Rescue, who do great things in adopting out animals. The other one, I believe, is
Marty Winston.
Marty Winston, definitely, with the new one that we heard last night that we'll hear again tomorrow night.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about all the ads.
I think that's about the ads, exactly. All right. So, as I said, we're doing the computer news, and I think it's your turn to take a story.
All right.
All right.
Okay, well, I have one here. It's not in your list, but I think I'm going to do it anyways. Have you ever heard of a patent troll?
A patent troll? No.
Patent troll.
No. What is that?
Patent trolls are people who, go out and patent 10,000 things, and they hope that anyone who tries to use one of their 10,000 patents violates it without knowing, and then they come back and say, hey, we own the patent to that. You're gonna have to pay us. So they could patent anything from a round button to having your program have an X on the top right corner of your program or the top left corner. They run out and they patent everything, and that's why they call them patent trolls. They're just trolling, trying to get money without actually doing any kind of work.
Okay.
Because if you remember, patents were originally supposed to encourage innovation.
Yes.
Saying that if you do something unique and new, no one's going to come up behind you and take your exact same idea and make money off it before you can.
That's right.
But where patent trolls are now, they're going out patenting as much as they can, and actually hurting innovation by trying to get them to pay for doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. So
here's a story here about a patent troll, and this one from Ars Technica.
Mm-hmm.
And podcasting patent troll, we tried to drop lawsuit against Adam Carolla. So Personal Audio LLC is an East Texas shell company that gleaned national attention when it claimed it had the right to demand cash from every podcaster. The company was wielding a patent on quote-unquote episodic content, which it said included anyone doing a podcast as well as many types of online video. So now the company is trying to walk away from its highest profile lawsuit against comedian Adam Carolla without getting paid a penny but Corolla won't let the case drop. In a statement released today, Personal Audio says that Corolla, who raised more than $450,000 from fans to fight the case, is wasting their money on an unnecessary lawsuit. The company, which is a patent troll with no business other than lawsuits, has said Corolla just doesn't care since his fans are paying the lawyers' bills. Adam Carolla's, and the quote here is that Adam Carolla's assertions that we would destroy podcasting were ludicrous on their face. But it generated sympathy from fans and ratings for his show. Getting his fan base to continue to donate to his legal fund is a cynical exploitation of the publicity power he enjoys as an entertainer. And he says that they were quite surprised when Adam Carolla turned down their offer. And Personal Audio was under the impression that Corolla, the self-proclaimed largest podcaster in the world, as well as certain other podcasters, were making significant money from infringing Personal Audio's patent. And after the parties completely discovered, however, it became clear that was not the case. So again, this company, the Shell Corporation, Personal Audio, had apparently patented episodic content. Any content with episodes, so podcasting number 201 and 202, you would be violating.
Oh, God.
Exactly. So that's how bad patent trolls have gotten.
Yeah.
And Adam Carolla, like I said, raised money from his listeners, and he won't let them off the case. They offered and said, okay, you know what, forget it. You're right on this one. We'll drop it and we'll go somewhere else. And Adam Carolla said, no, you're not going away to go fight someone, weaker and smaller and who can't fight this battle. You're staying here and fighting with me. So, Adam Carolla and his audience who are footing the bill are taking one for the team against patent trolls.
There you go. All right.
Found that a little interesting story where, audience, raises up.
He's using his celebrity to make his point.
I mean, he was targeted for his celebrity. He was targeted because he was so popular. Yeah. He was targeted by this company because he was so popular. So unfortunately, they actually found a pretty decent fight, and now they don't want to.
Yeah, but too late.
Yep.
You should know that there's an upgrade alert. I can play it, but you probably won't hear it. You don't hear that, no?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's an upgrade alert. Firefox has been upgraded to the version 31.0. And they've added a couple of new things. They've added the search field now to the new tab page, where you couldn't do that before. So when you make a new tab now, you can actually do a search on a new tab page for something, which is nice. They also support a prefer safe HTTP header for parental control. Okay, that's new. Mozilla PKIX as a default certificate verifier. That's new. You can block malware from downloaded files, which is kind of interesting. And also partial implementation of the OpenType math table. That's if you're into it. Audio-visual video .ogg and .pdf files are handled now by Firefox if no application specified, and that's only for Windows, though. Okay. And then the rest of it, I think, some are developers. They fixed various security flaws in this version, and also they fixed a search for partially selected link text from a context menu. That's been fixed too. Anyway, if you have your Firefox set for automatic downloads, that's a good thing. If not, you need to tell it to download the version 31, keeping yourself up to date with Firefox. Okay. All right. So let's continue on. Ben and I are doing these computer and technology news.
Well, wait. I have my own update alert.
Okay. What is that?
The newest champion for League of Legends has been released today. It's the first one in 3 months. So, if you've been waiting for that. And yes, he is right. 70 million unique people a month. So I'm sure someone else out there is listening is excited. So this is a big deal. New champion. His name's Gnar. And he looks adorable. So, get on that.
His name is Gnar?
Gnar. He is a primordial Yordle.
Okay. Okay.
He was frozen in a block of ice, released, and he looks adorable.
Okay. Right. Here's one from Tech Hive. Electronic Arts announces a $5 a month game subscription. $5 a month game subscription plan for the Xbox One. With its free game giveaway program on the house only a few months old, on Tuesday, Electronic Arts announced yet another way it plans to disrupt traditional game sales. EA Access is a new subscription program that lets you play a selection of EA games at no extra cost, as long as you keep your subscription running. As of now, the program is exclusive to the Xbox One and is priced at $5 a month or $30 a year. What's the catch? Is it it's a selection of EA games, and it's is there? Have you? Okay. Well, listen. EA Access membership unlocks the Vault, a collection of EA's biggest games on Xbox One, ready for you to download and play. Okay, so they're current games. During the beta, gamers will have unlimited access to 4 great EA games: FIFA 14, Madden NFL 25, Peggle 2, and Battlefield 4, with more titles being added soon, according to the announcement page. You'll also get 10% off the cost of other full-price EA games, and you'll be able to play a demo of upcoming EA games 5 days before the release. Dragon Age, Inquisition, and Madden NFL 15 being the 2 biggest titles coming this year. So it asks, is this a good value? Well, the author says he's torn. First of all, these titles are well on the way to being a year old, and in the case of something like Madden, that means an outdated roster, stats, etc. For Battlefield, it means a game that's already past its peak in terms of multiplayer engagement, especially with Destiny, Call of Duty, and EA's own Battlefield Hardline coming in the next few months. Also, you're not purchasing anything, you're renting, and that's on top of your Xbox Live subscription. And I'm also spoiled by PC game pricing. During the Steam sale, many of last year's biggest games sold for $10 or $15 each. But on the other hand, console pricing is traditionally more stagnant, and the sales absolutely deserve those quotation marks, quote-unquote sales. $30 a year isn't as bad a value on the Xbox One as it would be on a PC. And if you're patient enough that you play games on a 1-year delay anyway, this subscription might not be a bad choice, especially if EA keeps adding more titles. Although, judging by their E3 press conference, there aren't a ton of imminent Xbox One titles coming from EA. More worrisome is whether this becomes an industry trend. You can absolutely bet that if EA Access starts raking in money, other publishers will follow suit, and the idea of a dozen fractured subscriptions to EA, Activision, Ubisoft, Microsoft, Sony, Warner Brothers, et al. Is not a future I particularly look forward to witnessing. So there you go. Would you subscribe to this?
You know, if it's coming from EA, I don't think I would.
Just because it's EA?
Yes.
Why?
EA has been named in the past the worst gaming company by consumers. And that's not an opinion. That's not fanboys getting mad. That's EA is, the antithesis to what gamers want. They're all about maximizing profits. So when they release a game, they aren't looking for any value added, any quality, anything like that. They're looking at how can we make more money off this. They're the ones who own The Sims, and they're the ones who, when they release The Sims, it's $60, and then every expansion after that is $40. So it costs you $700 right now if you wanted to buy The Sims 3 and all the parts. $700 for one game.
That's not a good deal.
Nope, not really. Especially when most games are free. So,
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Enough said.
Oh yeah, no, it's no, but I mean, maximize profits. So if they try to, if EA comes at you saying, here's how you can get more games for cheaper, that's rarely ever in the consumer's interest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to give you more value added. EA is simply trying to make more money. So, anything that comes from EA, you see the tree, but where's the stick? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not always the best thing.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay.
All right. This story from. Oh no, you do. You have the next one. I'm sorry.
Are you sure? Because you're on like a 5-story streak, and I thought you were going to keep going.
You go. I want you to save your voice, but you don't need to do that now. Okay.
Oh no, it hurts to think, so it's going well. All right. Well, this one also from Ars Technica. I'm gonna have to start visiting this one. They have really good ones. Ars Technica,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the ISPs tell the government that congestion is quote unquote not a problem, but they impose data caps anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so after consulting focus groups of internet consumers, government researchers have come to the conclusion that, should surprise no one, people don't want data caps on home internet service.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But customers are getting caps anyways, even though the ISPs admit that congestion isn't a problem. The U.S. Government Accountability Office today released the preliminary findings of research involving surveys of cellular carriers, home internet providers, and customers. And the majority of top wireline ISPs are at least experimenting with data caps. But while cellular carriers say they impose usage-based pricing
Mm-hmm.
to manage congestion on wireless networks. So why set up data limits and charge extra when users go over them then? User-based pricing can generate more revenues from ISPs to help fund network capacity upgrades as data use grows.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of see where this is going already, can't you?
Sort of, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
So, the GAO said it interviewed some experts who think usage-based pricing may be unnecessary because the marginal costs of data delivery are very low and heavier users impose limited additional costs to ISPs. Limiting heavy users could even limit innovation and development of data-heavy applications. Customers told the GAO that they don't want data caps, at least on home internet. 8 focus groups of 9 or 10 people were polled about data caps on both cellular service and wireline home internet.
Yeah.
While they were generally accepting of limits on cell data, most did not want any limits on home internet usage, in part because they managed wireless plans by connecting mobile devices to their home Wi-Fi. So, I mean, Craig, just think about it. Would you, I believe Craig there gets 100 megabits a second.
That's correct.
What if they told you that you could only get on your home, in your home, using your connection speed, you could only get 100 gigs of information a month?
That wouldn't be very good. Well, I probably wouldn't use that, but yeah.
But let's say you had family down, you had Aaron there, you had myself there,
Mm-hmm.
you had a couple other people. They were all on the wireless network, and they were using it for this, and this. They were playing games, they were streaming videos, and then 2 weeks in, and you've hit your data cap.
Yeah.
And just like those, we used to hear all the stories about people who would roam with their cell phones and not turn off, their cell phone service.
Yeah.
And then they get the bills, and they're like, $16,000. So you could have that very same thing happen, at your home.
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah.
Which is not good.
No, very not.
And
good.
the worst part of it is that congestion isn't even a problem on home networks.
Yeah, but this article says that nothing is really going to probably happen. This is not going to really actually happen. The FCC is planning to implement a net neutrality rules that would prevent blocking of applications and guarantee a minimum level of service. According to this story, anyway.
Yeah, but what is that minimum level of service? Are we talking about everyone is guaranteed 1 megabit a second connection? across the U.S.
Mm.
That minimum has to be at a reasonable level. If they don't do even that, then there would be no point. It's just another one of those things where ISPs are finding ways to kind of stick it to you without coming out as the bad guy. They're trying to say that there's congestion on the networks. We need help with this. The heavy users are using way too much internet, which is downright false, since most people don't do anything other than stream Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things that I think we're going to hear more and more about it until internet is reclassified as a utility. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but then, so the internet is not classified as a utility now. What's it classified as?
Right now, it's just a service, like wired phone system. We used to be a utility, but just like television service, just like anything else, it's not. People don't really consider it mandatory, so they don't regulate it as such. Like if someone wanted to jack up your water bill, in homes, most people only have one provider, and usually that's a state-run facility. And if they wanted to jack up the prices, they can't do that. But with internet, they don't see it as a utility. So if AT&T doubled your bill, the worst you could do is change service.
Yeah.
But if they reclassified it as a utility, they could only raise it by a certain percentage. They couldn't, disconnect you for this reason, that reason.
Yeah, they're more heavily regulated.
It would be much more heavily regulated, because right now there's that illusion that if you aren't getting the optimal service from one internet provider, you can just go to another one. But competition is next to invisible. Most areas have one, maybe two, if they're lucky. And usually, one's good and one's bad, or they're both bad. So if it was a utility, it would be more. It would have to come up to that standard, and and so a lot of the stuff would go away.
Well,
yep.
We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
I guess so.
All right, Craig, do you have a story?
Yeah, I wish I had a little more time to look at that, because there's a lot more to read. But yes, I do. The iPhone 6 is just around the corner, and I know what happened with your iPhone 5S when a car ran over it. The screen cracked.
It did indeed.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine what would have happened if your iPhone screen was made out of sapphire?
That would have been a much prettier accident.
Yeah, no. Sapphire is one of the hardest known substances. I think only the diamond.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wait. Anyone who's using the video streaming service that we provide, let's see. That is a picture. It's kind of blurry right now, but that is a picture of my phone.
Correct.
That's cracked.
Right.
See it?
Yeah, I see it. Yes, it is. Yes,
destroyed.
It is. Yeah, but you fixed it, though.
Yes, I did.
It's just a picture, folks. But anyway, they're saying that the iPhone 6 maybe won't be made of sapphire. Repeated rumors, again, have suggested the iPhone 6 will sport a sapphire glass screen, but some analysts are throwing cold water on that idea. In a report released yesterday, LED Inside analysts from market researcher TrendForce said they have yet to see the necessary orders for sapphire glass wending their way through the supply chain in time to meet an expected September launch for a 4.7-inch iPhone 6. A new iPhone with sapphire glass could still roll out in limited numbers, though, they noted. Would the lack of a sapphire screen put a dent in sales of a new iPhone? Not likely, though the uber-hard material could be a key selling point. Considered the third hardest mineral. Okay, sapphire creates glass that is difficult to break and extremely scratch resistant. Sapphire glass proponents say it is tougher than the Gorilla Glass currently used for iPhone screens, though Corning would beg to differ. Because of its hardness, though, The synthetic sapphire for the glass is difficult and expensive to produce and cut into the right shapes, a challenge when it comes to mass production. Sapphire is already used to make the iPhone's camera lens and the cover of the Touch ID sensor found on the iPhone 5S, but those are relatively small areas. In the report, the analysts explained their pessimism. They said that that basically the iPhone, if the new iPhone keeps up Apple's previous smartphone models selling hot records, Sapphire demands will be driven by the smartphone's applications till the end of this year. Okay. The analysts said that they still have a positive outlook for Sapphire pricing and demand for the second half of 2014. That means a new batch of Sapphire substrate orders could arise later if iPhone 6 sales take off. Even Apple's much-rumored iWatch may not be immune from certain challenges in adopting sapphire glass. According to one analyst, mass-producing sapphire glass for a 2.5-inch smartwatch would be problematic. Further, the process would even be more difficult if the iWatch attempts to use flexible OLED panels. So there we go. So it may or may not have. Again, all these rumors are out there. I say, just wait and see what happens.
No, you must speculate as much as possible. Real quick.
Yeah.
We have time for like one half of a story.
Okay.
I have a story here. I'm going to link it to you. Probably not going to be able to read all of it, so we're just going to try to touch the high points.
Okay.
And that is a new battery breakthrough happened today, and they will make phones last 300% longer, or 3 times as long. So battery life, quote unquote, holy grail discovered. Phones may last 300% longer. It comes top of most wanted polls, but manufacturers rarely listen. Battery life has become the great unloved element of modern smartphones and has built an entire industry of spares, charge cases, mini power cables, and much more as a consequence. But that could all change after scientists announced they have achieved the holy grail of battery design. In a paper published in a scientific journal, a report, they have designed a pure lithium anode with the potential to increase the capacity of existing battery technology 400%.
Wow.
And they have a quote here: of all the materials that one might use to make an anode, lithium has the greatest potential. Some call it the holy grail. It's very lightweight and has the highest energy density. You could get more power per volume and weight, leading to lighter, smaller batteries with more power.
Well, they go through all the science behind it, which is
the breakthrough, the challenge, still to come, that stuff like that. Yeah. Let's put it this way: their recharge rate. I mean, the power that you put in and the power that you get out. Before this, the return rate was 96%. So you only got 96% of the power that you put in. With this new battery, you are sitting at 99% efficiency. So it's a 3% bump, but that's a huge increase. Just that last 3%. The holy grail, the penultimate, the ultimate, would be to get a 99.9% efficiency. So a 3% jump, whereas only a 0.9% jump is, the ideal situation. That just came a long way, and they just announced this today.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, batteries have been the bottleneck for technology because we can do so many great things, but the battery life. I mean, some of the battery technology we're using is still from the 1800s. Although I think we've surpassed it with the lithium-ion batteries. But again, batteries have always been the limiting factor for technology because we can have all this great stuff, but then we have a battery that lasts for 2 hours or something. So and I've been waiting for some sort of a quantum leap announcement that they're going to find, some sort of jump that's going to give you, and this looks like this may be it. Problem is, each time I hear about this new battery technology, and then a few months go by and you never hear about it again.
See, here's the difference, though. This was first announced 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is coming out again, whereas now this is him shipping the product to phone manufacturers.
Hey, we're out of time. The music's playing, so coming up tomorrow night, we're going to have the FBI here. That's right. Nick Savage is the cybersecurity expert. Is going to be talking about the what Washington is doing about the security online. It's going to be an interesting show. And then, of course, hour 2, Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, is going to be here with us as well. So that about wraps it up. So we'll see you tomorrow night. And so until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, Silence.
Good night, everybody. Did you hear the woman say thank you for using Blog Talk Radio? Goodbye. Did you hear that, Ben?
I didn't hear that.
No. Okay, now stay on because I want. First of all, I'm gonna. I think it's Hangouts because when I speak, I see those little green dots, but when I play the thing, so I think it's Hangouts. So I'm gonna ask you to stay on for a minute. First of all, let me say good night to everybody in the chat room. Oh, see you tomorrow with the FBI. Okay, so now let's and then we'll shut down the broadcast. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.